It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Bucs and the Rams, coming up next.
And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. First try on offense for the Bucs and their veteran quarterback, Tom Brady.
Well, we've all seen what Tom Brady can do on a football field for a couple of decades now. But how about his most impressive accomplishment? Moving to a different franchise and taking them to a Super Bowl title as well. Not many players can continually stiff-arm Father Time the way that he has.
That throw by Brady incomplete.
Had no command that time. May end up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Brady. He'll get this one complete to Darden. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Brady. On the screen, Bernard. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. For Charles' first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Rams will go on offense here for the 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a longtime starter in the NFL, a former #1 overall pick way back in 2009. It's Matthew Stafford. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
He's got Higbee complete right side. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? It looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, Do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session and be saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more times.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Not much there, only a yard. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Brady. Dumps it off to Fournette. And they're able to get this one across the 35. On 1st down, Brady. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. A 1st carry for Leonard Fournette. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
A 28-yard gain.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Von Miller, he was the one getting in there, able to wreak his usual havoc. And partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Brady. And this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Now Brady. And this is caught by Evans. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
That's the end of the first quarter. No score.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football. And the first play will be a field goal try. And Suckup will put this one right through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. From the end zone, here comes Brandon Powell. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. This one a little slow to get cooking, just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. 7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
Good call there on 1st down. And Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
From the 24, Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp.
Let's go! First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Stafford. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there's no way that ball was going to be caught.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Stafford. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Stafford looks to throw again. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
Here's Johnny Hecker now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Back now comes Tampa Bay. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
At the 33-yard line.
Here's Brady to throw. It's complete. He's got Gronk. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation, let him sneak his way across, coming back underneath, put it in his hands, let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now Brady again. Johnson with a completion over the middle. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Second and 6 at their 48-yard line.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Come on, boy.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Von Miller, his 2nd sack of the night. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
On 3rd and long, it's Brady. He's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
Let's go, baby.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Again, they'll throw with Brady. They're targeting Godwin once more, this time complete. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now Brady. Right side, that's complete to Gronkowski. And in for a Buccaneers touchdown. Tom Brady to his old Patriot pal, Rob Gronkowski. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Ryan Suckup on for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Powell now to take it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Now the Rams about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. 30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Throwing is Stafford. He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The final shot before the break. Stafford throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half for the Bucs. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. On the return is Powell. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Let's go!
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
2nd and 9. Stafford now to throw. That's out to the flat for Akers. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. It's caught by OBJ. And he is going to have a Rams first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
53, ready, 50.
They'll run on first down with Akers. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
6 yards left on 2nd down.
Stop your body. 45's the mic, 45's the mic.
Going right back to Akers. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Back to throw, Stafford. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 41-yard line.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man and try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Took till the 2nd half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Now it's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give this to Akers. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Odell Beckham there to make the grab. And the Rams are able to get back within a touchdown. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. And he's been pretty good. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here. I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. That's caught inside the 20. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. We keep waiting year after year to see signs of Tom Brady's arm strength deteriorating, but his message there, keep waiting.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
To the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sport. Touchdown! It's complete. Tom Brady hooking up with Mike Evans there as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. But that makes this a two-score ball game, and you know the way this thing has been going, Charles, 2 scores kind of feels like 3 or 4 scores.
Yeah, that's a great observation. It's been a heck of a battle, hasn't it? And points have been at a premium throughout this game. So you have to wonder, is this going to be too much for them to overcome?
Extra point try now for Succop. It's good to make it 17-7. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Here's Powell on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be a second down. Brings up second and 3 at the 36-yard line. Now Stafford. He completes it to Beckham. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up. They've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Now Stafford. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
They're down 2 scores, and they need a quick one to try and get back into this one. That was one way to try and get it done. Unsuccessful in the attempt, but they have no choice but to keep trying.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Stafford. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh finding the path to the QB there.
Remember, throughout my career, hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going up top for Kupp. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Buccaneers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll run it again with Fournette. And down he'll go at the 25.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
They'll try and run some clock with Fournette. Fournette, a first down, still going. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. 54 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
And Brandon, this is what it pays to have a big back that can take over a football game, especially in the fourth quarter when you've got the lead. Your ability to not just wear people down, but close games out.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go, 950.
They run the counter. Bernard. And he'll take this forward for about 5 as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Again, it's Fournette. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run. This is Bernard. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Get ready.
The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take this one down to the 36. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that